Ever felt that electric buzz when the crowd becomes the heartbeat of a live performance? We're about to take you on a journey through the top 20 unforgettable crowd participation moments in music history that will give you goosebumps. Stick around, you won't want to miss out. 20. Queen, Live Aid, 1985. The old Wembley Stadium, bathed in the summer sun, witnessed a historic event on July 13, 1985. Live Aid, a concert boasting a star-studded lineup including Sting, U2, Dire Straits, The Who, David Bowie, and more. Yet it was the unparalleled brilliance of Queen's performance that left an indelible mark on music history. As the crowd eagerly awaited, Freddie Mercury, the charismatic frontman, took the stage, marking the beginning of a 21-minute musical journey that would resonate through the ages. During Radio Gaga, Mercury's stage presence was electrifying. Strutting around, using the microphone as a prop, he effortlessly commanded the attention of the 72,000 spectators, igniting a fiery chorus that reverberated through the stadium. But it was the following moments that etched this performance into legend. Mercury, in a display of improvisational genius, led the audience in a spine-tingling vocal exchange during A.O. The collective voice of the crowd became a symphony, and Mercury's final soaring note was dubbed the note heard around the world. Transitioning seamlessly, Queen unleashed Hammer to Fall, a Brian May composition. Mercury, now armed with an electric guitar, addressed the crowd with gratitude. This next song is only dedicated to beautiful people here tonight, which means all of you. Thank you for coming along. You are making this a great occasion. The ensuing performance of Crazy Little Thing Called Love radiated energy and exuberance. A brief interlude with We Will Rock You paved the way for the crowning moment. The swaying, delirious crowd was treated to the anthemic We Are the Champions. Mercury's stage presence was nothing short of mesmerizing, leaving an everlasting imprint on the collective memory of those fortunate enough to witness it. Guitarist Brian May reflected on the performance, stating, "I'd never seen anything like that in my life, and it wasn't calculated either. It was the greatest day of our lives." 19. Linkin Park, In the End. Live at Rock am Ring in Mendig, Germany, 2004. In 2004, at Rock am Ring in Mendig, Germany, Linkin Park, already on the cusp of nu metal greatness, delivered a performance that solidified their status as one of the genre's biggest bands. The epic rendition of In the End from their debut album Hybrid Theory sent shockwaves through the music scene. Reflecting on the legacy of Hybrid Theory, Mike Shinoda, the band's rapper and songwriter, proudly acknowledges its impact on music. "It did some of that work," he asserts, referring to the album's role in breaking down boundaries between musical styles. Hybrid Theory, released on October 24, 2000, marked a pivotal moment, challenging conventional genre norms. In the early 2000s, musical preferences were often compartmentalized: rock, hip-hop, jazz. However, Linkin Park's innovative approach changed the narrative. Mike Shinoda reminisces, "When you asked somebody what they were listening to, they'd say, rock. I listened to hip-hop. I listened to jazz. It wasn't until 5 years later they'd say, everything." Hybrid Theory, with its neck-snapping metal, sharp rap, electronic elements, and bouncing pop choruses, defied expectations. The band's decision to collaborate with producer Don Gilmore, known for his work with Good Charlotte, was intentional. Mike explains, "We chose Don Gilmore to produce because he had proven through his recent releases in the last couple of years at the time that he could make a really polished-sounding alternative record. In the context of today's music landscape, genre hopping has become standard practice. However, in 2000, Linkin Park's sound was genuinely fresh and groundbreaking." 18. ACDC's electrifying performance of Thunderstruck at Riverplate, 2009. In December 2009, ACDC took the stage at Riverplate for a performance that would go down in history, featuring their iconic track, Thunderstruck. The song's live rendition was nothing short of a powerhouse, reaching number 5 on Billboard's mainstream rock tracks. Contrary to popular belief, the inspiration behind Thunderstruck wasn't a lightning strike on a plane as the myth goes. Angus Young, the lead guitarist, revealed, "It started off from a little trick I had on guitar. I played it to Mal and he said, 'Oh, I've got a good rhythm idea that will sit well in the back.' We built the song up from that." The creative process was a collaborative effort, and the result was a thunderous anthem that became synonymous with ACDC's powerful sound. As Angus succinctly puts it, ACDC equals power. That's the basic idea. The cover of the German release of the Thunderstruck single gives a glimpse into the global appeal of this electrifying track, released as a single in Germany, Australia, and Japan. The title, with its thunderous connotation, resonated universally, reinforcing the band's reputation for delivering high-voltage performances. Dispelling a popular misconception, it's worth noting that Angus Young does not play the main riff of Thunderstruck with one hand. In live videos, Angus can be clearly seen picking every fretted note and pulling off the open notes. The one-handed tapping technique, often associated with the song, is exclusive to the Thunderstruck music video. 17. Evanescence, My Immortal, live in Paris, France, 2004. In 2004, Evanescence delivered a soul-stirring performance of My Immortal in Paris, France, leaving an indelible mark on the hearts of their fans. This poignant ballad, originally co-written by guitarist Ben Moody and lead singer Amy Lee, had a complex journey before finding its place on the band's debut album Fallen, released in 2003. Ben Moody took the reins for the song's lyrics, collaborating with Amy Lee to bring it to life. Interestingly, the song was initially recorded for Evanescence's first EP in 1998, but was ultimately removed at the last minute. When it finally found its way onto Fallen, My Immortal had undergone significant changes, evolving into the hauntingly beautiful composition that fans know and love. Despite its emotional impact, it's essential to note that the lyrics of My Immortal are entirely fictional, according to Ben Moody. While they evoke a powerful spirit, Moody emphatically stated that the song has no connection to God or religion. It's a testament to the depth of Moody's songwriting skills that he crafted such emotionally resonant lyrics while still in high school. 16. Green Day performs Boulevard of Broken Dreams at Reading Festival. In a spectacular display of punk rock prowess, Green Day took the stage at the Reading Festival, delivering an unforgettable performance that left the audience in awe. The festival, known for hosting legendary acts, witnessed Billy Joe Armstrong and his bandmates steal the spotlight with a mammoth 2.5-hour set. The atmosphere was electric as Green Day kicked off their performance, and much to the delight of the crowd, they decided to play their third album, Dookie, in its entirety. The main stage was set ablaze with hits from 1994, creating a nostalgic journey for fans. The band's entrance, introduced by a giant dancing pink rabbit with drummer Trey Cool's name displayed, set the tone for a night of pure musical energy. As the chords of Stay the Night reverberated through the venue, Billy Joe Armstrong engaged with the audience, challenging them to elevate the intensity. Acknowledging the uniqueness of the festival, he declared, "This ain't just any festival, this is the greatest festival in the world." Reflecting on his punk rock roots, Armstrong shared personal anecdotes revealing the transformation from being an outsider to being embraced by a community of like-minded freaks. The pinnacle of the set came with mass sing-alongs to iconic Green Day hits like Holiday, When September Ends, and the anthemic Boulevard of Broken Dreams. During the latter, Armstrong, in a moment of sheer rock theatrics, bowed down to the crowd before collapsing in a heap. An iconic gesture that resonated with the fans. 15. Black Sabbath, War Pigs. If you've ever needed a compelling reason to delve into the musical realm of Ozzy Osbourne's legendary band Black Sabbath, consider this your golden opportunity. The year is 1970, the venue unknown, but what is abundantly clear is the sheer power emanating from the stage during their performance of the anti-war anthem, War Pigs. This 7-minute sonic journey is a relentless blend of hellish intensity and heavenly sonics, perfectly encapsulating the essence of Black Sabbath's musical alchemy. The band, known for their penchant for various cocktails, both chemical and otherwise, delivered a performance that remains etched in the annals of rock history. While the specifics of the concert's time and place may be a bit hazy, the impact of this early live rendition of War Pigs is crystal clear. Black Sabbath, with their groundbreaking sound and uncompromising attitude, laid down steely foundations that reverberate through the ages. 14. Don't Stop Believin' at Sonic Boom 2015. Singing at concerts often becomes a showcase of how collective energy can propel individuals to do the extraordinary. The phenomenon of thousands singing in unison creates an infectious atmosphere where even the most reserved can't resist joining the chorus, momentarily forgetting they are part of a paying audience there to witness a performance. Enter Sonic Boom 2015, where Journey, a band synonymous with timeless anthems, took the stage to deliver an unforgettable rendition of Don't Stop Believin'. Originally released as a single from Journey's wildly successful album Escape, this song has etched its place as the quintessential Journey track. Mike DeGagne of AllMusic aptly described it as an anthem for the young who wanted to feel free and unrestricted. Dorian Lynskey from The Guardian went even further, labeling it the power ballad that refused to die. 13. Bon Jovi, Livin' on a Prayer, Hyde Park, 2011. From their humble Jersey roots to the pinnacles of global rock stardom, Bon Jovi's journey since their 80s breakthrough has been nothing short of monumental. The band, led by the charismatic John Bon Jovi and featuring guitarist Richie Sambora, bassist Alec John Such, keyboardist David Bryan, and drummer Tico Torres, catapulted into the music scene with their self-titled debut in 1984, which included the top 40 hit, Runaway. While their early albums achieved platinum status, it was the 1986 release Slippery When Wet that transformed Bon Jovi into a global phenomenon. This album, topping Billboard's 200 chart for 8 weeks and earning a rare diamond certification, featured 3 iconic tracks that dominated the late 80s: Wanted Dead or Alive, You Give Love a Bad Name, and the anthemic Livin' on a Prayer. Livin' on a Prayer became an instant smash, solidifying Bon Jovi's status as rock royalty. The music video, directed by frequent collaborator Wayne Isham, enjoyed constant rotation on MTV. The song itself achieved the remarkable feat of becoming their second consecutive #1 single after You Give Love a Bad Name, making them the first hard rock band to achieve back-to-back chart toppers on the Hot 100. Fast forward to Hyde Park 2011, and the magic of Livin' on a Prayer remains powerful. 12. Goo Dolls Iris, live in Buffalo, New York. Enter the soul-stirring realm of the Goo Dolls, where the emotional tapestry of their famous track Iris unfolds in a live spectacle in Buffalo, New York. This song, synonymous with the band's identity, delves into the profound question: what connection does a woman named Iris have with this iconic track, and does her name hold a significance beyond being a title? Iris has become the signature song by the American rock band the Goo Dolls, but the meaning of this power ballad has attracted debate. The song is a power ballad written by the band's founder and lead singer John Resnick. Although some of the lyrics invite diverse interpretations, the central meaning of the song is fairly easy to summarize. It's a song about falling in love with someone, so intensely in love that you'd be willing to give up forever just to touch them, as the opening line has it. 11. Bob Marley's One Love Peace Concert, 1978. Embark on a journey back to April 22, 1978. A pivotal moment in Jamaica's history, as reggae icon Bob Marley orchestrated the transcendent One Love Peace Concert. Against a backdrop of political turmoil and violence gripping the newly independent nation, Marley sought to wield the power of music as a force for unity. The National Stadium in Kingston bore witness to this historic event. which would unfold as one of Jamaica's most iconic cultural gatherings. As Marley took the stage amidst the soul-stirring strains of Jammin', he did more than deliver a musical performance. He orchestrated an act of profound symbolism and reconciliation. In a daring move, Marley extended an invitation to Jamaica's two rival political leaders, imploring them to join him in a gesture of peace. Amid the rhythmic pulse of Jammin', the leaders stood side by side on stage, their handshake echoing far beyond the confines of the stadium. Marley, a figurehead for the spirit of unity, danced furiously, infusing the atmosphere with an energy that transcended politics. In Marley's own words, spoken amidst the pulsating beats, "We gotta be together, and through the spirit of the Most High, His Imperial Majesty Emperor Haile Selassie, we're inviting a few leading people of the slaves to shake hands." The profound message echoed through the stadium and the airwaves, a call for love, unity, and a collective commitment to a brighter future. Marley said as he danced furiously during the song, "To show the people what you love them right, to show the people that you are gonna unite. Watch, watch, watch what you're doing, because I want to send a message right out there." 10. The Who, live at Leeds, 1970. Journey back to February 14, 1970. A date etched in rock history as the legendary British rock band The Who unleashed a sonic tempest at the University of Leeds refectory. This electrifying performance would become immortalized as Live at Leeds, a live album that crystallizes the very essence of live rock and roll. At the time, The Who was in search of a follow-up to their groundbreaking 1969 album, Tommy. Displeased with the sound recordings from previous tours, the band strategically chose Leeds University for a live recording, coupled with a show at Hull City Hall the next day. Little did they know, they were about to capture lightning in a bottle. The result? 6 explosive tracks extracted from the Leeds show, encapsulating the raw, unbridled energy of a band at the peak of its powers. The album cover intentionally mirrored a bootleg recording, reflecting the rebellious spirit that defined The Who. This wasn't just an album, it was a statement. The sound of Live at Leeds deviated significantly from the conceptual musings of Tommy. Instead, it featured hard rock arrangements that mirrored the band's electrifying live performances. 9. Bruce Springsteen's Born in the USA tour, 1984 to 1985. Let's rewind to the mid-1980s when Bruce Springsteen embarked on the iconic Born in the USA tour, a musical journey that transcended the boundaries of a typical concert experience. The tour, in support of Springsteen's acclaimed album of the same name, marked a pivotal moment in the rock legend's career and left an indelible mark on the hearts of fans around the world. The Born in the USA tour wasn't merely a series of concerts, it was a spectacle of epic proportions. Springsteen, having undergone a remarkable physical transformation through 2 years of bodybuilding, emerged on stage with a newfound vigor and an imposing presence. The boss had evolved, and so had the dynamics of his live performances. The absence of guitarist Steve Van Zandt, who had decided to pursue a solo career, marked a significant change. However, the tour introduced a new face, Nils Lofgren, who seamlessly filled the void. Another notable addition was Patti Scialfa, Springsteen's future wife, making her debut and adding a fresh dimension to the E Street Band. 8. Johnny Cash at Folsom Prison, 1968. Now let's travel back to the transformative year of 1968, where country music icon Johnny Cash orchestrated an unparalleled musical event within the confines of Folsom State Prison. Johnny Cash at Folsom Prison is not just an album, it's a testament to the power of music to transcend barriers and connect with the human spirit. Cash's fascination with performing at a prison dates back to his 1955 hit, Folsom Prison Blues. However, it wasn't until 1967, under the new direction of producer Bob Johnston at Columbia Records, that Cash's vision materialized. At this juncture, Cash, having overcome personal struggles with drug abuse, sought to rejuvenate his career. Armed with his guitar and backed by a stellar ensemble including June Carter, Carl Perkins, and the Tennessee Three, Cash stepped onto the stage at Folsom State Prison on January 13, 1968. The result was an electrifying performance that would go down in history as one of the most remarkable live recordings ever. The album, released on May 6, 1968, captures the essence of Cash's magnetic stage presence and the raw emotional exchange between the man in black and the incarcerated audience. The initial release features 15 songs from the first show and 2 from the second. 7. Pink Floyd's The Wall concerts, 1980 to 1981. On stage, a massive wall was constructed, only to be torn down later, symbolizing the barrier between the band and the audience. Only 31 shows were played on the tour, which was relatively small compared to previous tours for a major release. The tour was notable for its extensive use of stage theatrics, most notably a giant wall constructed across the stage to convey the sense of alienation present in both the album and Roger Waters' personal feelings at the time. The idea to include live concert footage of any significant length for the Wall film was dropped shortly before the final shows took place. There are conflicting statements regarding the professionally filmed footage. It had been widely believed that the wrong type of film had been used and the results were dark and murky. Mark Fisher, partly responsible for designing the show, said the footage was very dark and horrible and boring and should be burned. Alan Parker himself said, "The filming of the shows were 5 blown opportunities." These rumors were partially scotched when the Channel 4 documentary Behind the Wall 2000 used perfectly clear master videotape footage from the Earl's Court 1980 concerts, as well as pristine film footage from the Earl's Court 1981 concerts. 27 February, 6, 7, 8, 9, August 1980 concerts were shot on videotape, while 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 June 1981 were shot on Eastman 125T film stock using Panavision anamorphic Panaflex Gold cameras. These cameras can be seen in various photographs from the June 1981 leg. Attempts to brighten up the show for the film were successful. However, the ISO for the filming was too low, thus Parker deeming the footage a waste. 6. Janice Joplin at Monterey Pop Festival, 1967. It was Joplin's electrifying performance and her interaction with the crowd that demonstrated her stage presence's power. No one to that point had seen a white girl sing the blues like she sang it, and she was a tough Texas girl. She lived really tough. She drank tough. She did drugs, too many and too tough. But as a vocalist, her performance at Monterey was also one of the great concert performances of all time. That's famed music and film producer Lou Adler talking in 2007 about Janis Joplin and her performance 40 years before at the Monterey International Pop Festival. After those 3 days of music, June 16 through June 18, 1967, in the Summer of Love, many of the acts catapulted to fame. The Who exploded stateside. The Jimi Hendrix Experience essentially launched their career from that stage. Ravi Shankar got introduced to Americans, and Otis Redding played to a mostly white audience for the first time. Laura Nyro and Canned Heat became famous overnight. And then there was Big Brother and the Holding Company, fronted by a 24-year-old Janis Joplin. Their first album wasn't due until August, and most of the crowd had not heard of this blues band when they took the stage on Saturday afternoon, June 17. 5 songs later, and finishing with Ball and Chain, the crowd had gone wild. They knew they had seen something special. 5. Rage Against the Machine at Woodstock, 99. While the festival had issues, Rage's set and the crowd's reaction were powerful expressions of discontent. Woodstock 99 was a shameful disaster. Promoters brought 200,000 young rock fans to a former Air Force base in Rome, New York, but failed to provide them with nearly enough toilets or free water. It was held on a scorching hot weekend in late July with temperatures above 100 degrees, and there was little shade. Bottled water was $4. Some sort of violent eruption was practically inevitable. Rage Against the Machine performed near the end of the second night, sandwiched between Limp Bizkit and Metallica. Fred Durst was widely blamed with whipping the crowd into a violent frenzy. "People are getting hurt," he said. "Don't let anybody get hurt, but I don't think you should mellow out. That's what Alanis Morissette had you motherfuckers do. If someone falls, pick them up. We already let the negative energy out. Now we want to let out the positive energy." 4. Elvis Presley's Comeback Special, 1968. It is iconic to see Elvis perform live again, especially in the informal jam sessions with the audience. The 68 Comeback Special is an Elvis Presley concert special that aired on NBC on December 3, 1968. It marked Presley's return to live performance after a 7-year period during which he focused on his film appearances. The concert was initially planned as a Christmas special by the network and Presley's manager, Colonel Tom Parker. Producer Bob Finkel hired director Steve Binder, who, rather than creating a Christmas special, created a concert that would reflect the musical trends of the time and appeal to a younger audience. Filming took place in June 1968 at NBC Studios in Burbank, California. The special included a sit-down session that showcased Presley in an informal setting, surrounded by fans and a small band. The special received positive reviews and topped the Nielsen television ratings for the week in which it aired. It became the most watched show of the television season, earning 42% of the television audience. Later known as the Comeback Special, it relaunched Presley's singing career. 3. U2's Where the Streets Have No Name at the Super Bowl, 2002. Where the Streets Have No Name is a song by Irish rock band U2. It is the opening track from their 1987 album, The Joshua Tree, and was released as the album's third single in August 1987. The song's hook is a repeating guitar arpeggio using a delay effect, played during the song's introduction and again at the end. Lead vocalist Bono wrote the lyrics in response to the notion that it is possible to identify a person's religion and income based on the street on which they lived, particularly in Belfast. During the band's difficulties recording the song, producer Brian Eno considered erasing the song's tapes to have them start from scratch. Shortly before the third leg of the Elevation Tour, the September 11 attacks occurred in New York City and Washington, D.C. During the band's first show in New York City following the attacks, the band performed Where the Streets Have No Name, and when the stage lights illuminated the audience, the band saw tears streaming down the faces of many fans. The experience was one inspiration for the song City of Blinding Lights. The band paid tribute to the 9/11 victims during their performance of the song at the Super Bowl 36 halftime show on February 3, 2002. The performance featured the names of the September 11 victims projected onto a large white banner behind the band, and concluded with Bono opening up his jacket to reveal the Star-Spangled Banner. U2's appearance was later ranked number 1 on Sports Illustrated's list of top 10 Super Bowl halftime shows. 2. Nirvana's MTV Unplugged. The audience singing along with the song Come As You Are and the emotional rendition of Where Did You Sleep Last Night made this performance one to remember. Nirvana taped their performance on November 18, 1993 at Sony Studios in New York City. Cobain suggested the stage be decorated with stargazer lilies, black candles, and a crystal chandelier. Coletti asked, "You mean like a funeral?" Cobain replied, "Exactly, like a funeral." Nirvana was joined by guitarist Pat Smear and cellist Laurie Goldston, who had been touring with them. Despite the show's acoustic premise, Cobain insisted on running his acoustic guitar through his amplifier and effects pedals. Coletti built a fake box in the front of the amplifier to disguise it as a monitor wedge. Coletti said, "It was Kurt's security blanket. He was used to hearing this guitar through his Fender. He wanted those effects. You can hear it on The Man Who Sold the World. It's an acoustic guitar, but he's obviously going through an amp." Unlike most artists who appeared on the show, Nirvana filmed the entire performance in one take. It included one song from their debut Bleach, 1989, 4 from their second album Nevermind, 1991, 3 from the recently released In Utero, and 6 covers. As In Utero's All Apologies had not yet been released as a single, the only contemporary hit the band performed was the Nevermind single, Come As You Are. Chris and Kurt Kirkwood of the Meat Puppets joined to perform 3 of their songs with Nirvana. Kurt purposely wanted the Meat Puppet songs to be a struggle for him vocally, remarked Coletti. So instead of finding a key he could sing them in comfortably, he chose to strain. The set ended with a performance of the traditional Where Did You Sleep Last Night, following the arrangement of blues musician Leadbelly, whom Cobain described before the song as his favorite performer ever. Mark Lanegan had covered this song previously on The Winding Sheet, 1990, with Cobain on guitar. After the band finished, Cobain argued with the show's producers, who wanted an encore. Cobain refused because he felt he could not top the performance of that song. 1. Smells Like Teen Spirit, Rockin' 1000. In July of 2015, 1,000 musicians gathered together in Cesena, Italy, and performed in unison a rollicking version of the Foo Fighters song, Learn to Fly. Now they're back and playing the best-known song from Dave Grohl's earlier band. We're talking, of course, about Nirvana's hit, Smells Like Teen Spirit. Now they've brought together over 1,200 singers, guitarists, bassists, and drummers to take on the seminal Nirvana track from Nevermind, with breathtaking results. We started right after the success we had last year with Learn to Fly. Organizer Fabio Zaffanini told NME about how they formed. It went so big on YouTube, it's hit something like 32 million views. We realized many people could see that video online, but just a bunch could see the musicians performing live, so we decided to focus on this concept of a live show. A group of Italian musicians who call themselves the Rockin' 1000 and claim to be the biggest rock band on Earth staged large-scale jam sessions with purpose. Initially, they put on a successful 2015 musical campaign to get the Foo Fighters to play a concert in their small town of Cesena. Since then, they've staged similarly large performances of songs by the White Stripes, David Bowie, and the Black Keys. And there you have it, music lovers. The top 20 crowd participation moments that turn concerts into unforgettable experiences. If you've ever been part of a crowd that came alive with the music, tell us about it in the comments below. And of course, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe for more musical journeys, and ring that notification bell so you never miss the next one. Thanks for watching.